Welcome to The Survivor's Voice, where resilience meets hope. I'm your host, Angie Sedore. I'm sitting here with our producer and editor, Christina Elder.
Thank you so much, Angie. It's definitely a different experience being on this side of the room.
Yes.
But I am really grateful for the opportunity to talk to our listeners a little bit. I just want to say really quick that this show has really changed me hearing these stories. It's a real reminder of the realities of this world, the horrifics of the world, but also that healing is not just about surviving. Healing is about being heard, being validated, being understood by people.
Yeah. And that's what The Survivor's Voice is all about.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And I love that we've been able to create a space for our guests where they can be heard and validated and understood.
Yes.
I'm actually really excited and very humbled by the feedback we've gotten from our guests actually about how great of an experience they've had.
And we've had such just a variety and a range of guests on our show. I mean, we have gone through trafficking and medical trauma, church trauma, war. I mean, just so many different things. And maybe some of our listeners are thinking about telling their story.
That would be so awesome. If that's the case, I would like our audience to know we would be honored and privileged to be able to be the platform for them if they so chose to tell their story.
Yes.
We also believe that every single story can help someone else.
Yes.
That's our whole purpose here. Our listeners should know that you don't need to be a speaker. You don't even necessarily need to be past your trauma. You just have to show up. So if listening to this is maybe making your heart beat a little faster, maybe that's a sign that you need to contact us, that maybe you can help somebody else with your story.
If you feel led to speak, we're ready to listen. So reach out to us at booking@thesurvivorsvoice.net. Your story matters here because your voice is your power. Special thank you to Bowman Carter for creating the original music for this podcast. You can find Bowman's music by searching for Bowman Carter on Spotify and on YouTube. We've attached his links in our description of today's episode. Please show him love and support. Today on The Survivor's Voice,
something was off in my gut. I just did not want to go. How do I deal with this?
the content shared on the Survivor's Voice podcast is intended to be informative and inspirational. We are not licensed therapists, counselors, or medical professionals. The views expressed are based on personal experiences and should not be considered professional advice. If you are in need of mental health support, please consult a licensed professional. Before we begin, this episode may contain discussions of trauma, abuse, or other sensitive topics. Listener discretion is advised. We don't recommend playing this show with young children present, and we encourage you to prioritize your well-being. Welcome to The Survivor's Voice. I'm your host, Angie Sedore, and I'm so glad that you're here with us today. We're here with one of my dear friends, Rebecca, and I'm just excited to hear about her story. We're going to dive right in. So, Rebecca, thank you so much for joining us today.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Excited.
Yeah. So, if you'll just give us like a little bit of who you are today, what do you do? Like, what's life like for Rebecca?
Yeah. So currently, I'm just really creating a community of safe people around me. I think that my trauma from my past experiences have really helped guide me to be better at choosing the people that I surround myself with.
Oh, for real. Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So it's really important who I invest my time with and in. And I'm really appreciative of the people that I've met here locally. I love, of course, my old friends, right? Like my best friends, my besties.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you can't do anything. Like you can't just beat
They're
that
there.
situation,
They've been
right?
there
Like
forever.
exactly.
Yeah.
So they're good as gold. But to create a community around you, especially what I've just experienced recently, it's been a godsend to me because I'm just truly in this kind of community-centric relationship where I really know who I am more so even than a few years ago.
Yeah.
Because of really one question from a counselor that had asked me, like, what do you want? And that completely changed the direction of my life. And that was my aha moment.
Was that here?
That was actually in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that initially led me into in this transition phase of I'm in Scottsdale. I'm not a huge fan of it. I just didn't jive with it. It wasn't my thing.
Yep.
And that's when I just realized that my daughter and I needed something different. We needed a change. We needed something that was going to be healthier for both of us.
Yeah.
So that's where I'm at right now.
Sweet.
I'm just loving life.
I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
Yeah. So tell us about your childhood. What was your upbringing like?
Oh, that's a fun one. So my childhood, at first looking back, I always thought I had a perfect childhood.
Yeah.
And I think I might have even told myself that just to go through the processes of what I went through and the trauma that was there. Not that I wanted to ignore it because I'm not that kind of personality, but I was raised within a few miles of both sides of my family.
Okay.
And I know that's not really common, right? A lot of people don't really know their grandparents or their cousins or their third cousins.
Spend every day with both sides of the family.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we were within miles of my great grandma, and my grandpa, who are Hispanic. So I have that experience of what it was like.
And that's your dad's side of the family?
Yeah, my dad's side of the family. So I grew up in a very mixed culture. I wasn't Mexican enough.
Oh, girl.
Right? You know that?
I do.
But then I wasn't white enough.
Yeah.
So there was a little bit of racism, I would say, from my mom's side. And there would be disagreement in that statement for me sharing that.
Sure.
What I heard, what I saw was different.
Yeah.
And so my mom's side is German, a little bit of Indian, and Irish.
Okay.
So it was just such a different culture going from one to the other.
Oh, for sure.
And one was, Catholic. The Mexican side, of course, was Catholic. And the Caucasian side is Christian.
Yeah.
So Lutheran, Christian, those kind of denominations.
Okay.
And it was just a very different lifestyle because I grew up in Southern California. And I think that over there I was exposed to different things, shootings, right? I saw a few different shootings and I saw somebody get hit and run. I was involved in a hit and run as well. So I just experienced a different lifestyle growing up. When the trauma started, I would say it was when I was about 5 or 6.
Okay.
So my first memory of realizing that my mom was an unsafe person or parent was when I experienced molestation. And I really, truly did not, until speaking with you, I really didn't see it as molestation.
Yeah.
I would actually, I thought of it like I got away from that. I kind of was able to avoid it because nothing sexually happened to me.
But you were touched inappropriately.
Exactly.
Which is
what it is. Molestation.
Yeah.
Right. And so I wonder how many of our listeners are kind of in that same predicament where they thought that they had avoided that molestation or being, the number.
Or like it wasn't as severe as other things that happened to other people. So, yeah. So you want to walk us through what happened?
Yeah. So my aunt's boyfriend at the time, he lived just down the street from my grandma's home. And they were teenagers. I had very young aunts growing up on my mom's side.
Yeah.
We were in my grandma's formal living room. The boyfriend, Craig, I remember his name was Craig, So it was him, my mom, my grandma, I believe my siblings were there, my aunt. They ended up going into a different room, and Craig and I stayed in the same room.
How old were you?
I was 5 or 6 at the moment, but I remember my grandma's furniture really hasn't changed much. But I remember she had at that time these 2 brownish gold chairs, and they were cushioned. And I'm sitting on one, he's sitting on the other, and he was like, "Hey, come here, I want to tell you a secret." I'm like thinking, this guy's weird. I just always got a weird vibe from him. So I'm like, "No, dude, I'm cool."
Yeah.
And then he was like, no, come on, sit on my lap. So I didn't want to sit on his lap. Something was off in my gut. It was just telling me like, this guy's crazy, he's weird, like just stay your distance. But that number 2 on the Enneagram, right? The caregiver, the helper, the pleaser.
Yep.
And because I was raised to be seen and not heard, I was raised from the Caucasian side of my mom's side to really be the performer. I was recognized for for my appearance or my looks, how I dressed or how I came off. So it was almost like we were performers growing up. My sister's an amazing singer. My brother, he's very talented as a drummer. So I was the dancer. And so when my grandparents would have friends or, relatives over, it was almost like we were performing for them.
Yeah.
So I was really taught at a young age to just perform.
Yeah.
Even to the point of if you're screaming or yelling or upset, just put on a smile, everything's fine. And when you have somebody enter the home, you give them a hug, regardless of if you want to or not.
Yikes.
And that is one thing that I don't, as a parent, push on my own daughter.
Yeah.
Are hugs.
Yeah.
High fives. How are you doing? Respectfully. Pushing hugs is just something that we don't do. But going back to the incident, I know that too at that time was that little girl. It was like, I have to kind of do this because if I don't, I'm going to be reprimanded.
Yeah.
Because I'm not performing.
Right.
So I'm giving boundaries, but I still felt guilty for not performing.
Yeah.
So then he grabbed me and he put me on his lap and he was like, "Yeah, I just have a secret, just real quick." So I was wearing a dress at that moment, and I think I still have that dress. I think it's the one that my daughter still continues to wear. She loves it. But I don't associate it with that anymore. I really associate it with her liking this dress that I used to have.
Yeah.
So he put me on his lap and he started to put his hand in between my thighs. And I remember turning around and real quickly slapping him and saying, "Don't ever touch me again." And then I just left the room. I then in the night, I didn't go directly to my mom or to my grandma because I knew it wasn't a safe place.
Yeah.
I knew they weren't safe people. So I had to just kind of.
Was this at your grandma's house?
My
Your
mom's, yeah.
mom's.
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
My grandma's house, my
Okay.
mom's house. And I remember just crying in my bed that night. I didn't tell my dad. I was daddy's little girl, so I was kind of embarrassed to even tell him.
Yeah.
And I knew that I couldn't trust my mom to do the right thing in protecting me because I grew up with watching her gossip a lot. And I grew up watching her saying lies and embellishing.
Yeah.
And so I knew that this would be a potential issue or concern. So I remember just crying, and my sister and I shared a bedroom at that time, and she was asking me, "What's going on? What's going on?" I finally confided in her because she was a second mom growing up. I went to her for a lot of questions or what do I do in circumstances.
She was older.
She's 2 years older.
Okay.
Yeah. But she was pretty much grown up, because she had to be.
Yeah.
Right. We both had to grow up and be self-sufficient. We learned that we couldn't rely on my mom. So in sharing this with my sister, she encouraged me to share with my mom. And I told her, I don't trust sharing that with her. I was worried that she would misuse that information and that it would go against me.
Yeah.
So on the way to my grandma's house, it was either the next day or a few days later, we're going back to my grandma's house and I felt sick to my stomach. I just did not want to go because I knew that there
had PTSD.
Yeah. And there could be an option of him, what
there.
if he's going to be there?
Ugh.
And how do I deal with this?
Yeah, which is something somebody that's at 5 or 6 years old shouldn't be having to figure out.
Right.
Ugh.
Right. We stopped. She drove a white wagon. And I remember her pulling up on the side of the, I believe it was on Handy. And it was the long stretch of a street or a road. And we pull over because I'm crying and I'm hysterical. And she's like, what is going on with you? And I said, I can't tell you because I don't trust you. If I say something and I tell you what's going on, you're going to go and tell grandma. No, I promise I won't. I promise. And I said, if you tell her or anybody about this, I won't be able to trust you ever again. And we go to my grandma's. We're in the house.
Told her.
I told her. We go to my grandma's and literally within minutes, I'm being pulled in my grandma's back room and we're sitting on the bed and I'm just listening to her tell me that never happened. It's all in your head. You just need to let it go. And that was it. I had no voice.
Yeah. Did that impact you through adulthood as well?
100%. My bio mom labeled me as a liar my whole childhood, my youth, even into my adulthood. So I've had to fight for my truth.
Yeah.
And that my voice is to be heard.
Yeah. I can see that. So did you ever run into this guy again?
So being that he lived just down the street from my grandma's house, we would go on walks. My grandma and I, she's incredible. She's super fit. I think she is.
Yeah.
And she's very agile, and we would go on frequent walks, and she was just a little speed walker. And I remember her wanting to go that direction towards his house, and I felt sick to my stomach. My stomach was in knots, just worrying, like, is he going to come out?
Yeah.
I remember looking down because where she lives, you can see down the street, and that's exactly his home. So you could see, I remember that there was rocks in front of the house, and I believe he had a brother, but there were people a lot of the times in the front of the yard, and I just never wanted to go down there. So I don't remember having much contact with him after that.
Thank God.
Yeah, but I don't know if anybody really knew my story besides my grandma and my mom.
Because it didn't happen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Did that ever fall you into, like, your adolescent years when you were dating?
Mm-hmm. So it followed me into this kind of journey of knowing that I had to hide myself away from my mom.
Oh my
that I had to protect myself. So my dad was someone growing up where I could really confide in him. I could tell him the truth, and he believed me. He allowed me to have a voice. We would spend a lot of time away from the home. I would watch him at his basketball games or his baseball games. I just loved being away from the house. And so I felt strong with him. And I felt strong with my great grandma, who was a feisty one. little Mexican feisty little one. And I felt strong because of my Mexican grandma, who I was pretty much best friends with growing up.
Yeah.
And because of them, I really felt confident that I wasn't crazy, that I wasn't in this, like, in my head, that I wasn't making things up.
Yeah. Isn't it interesting how you can question yourself?
Oh,
What, especially when you're young and an adult tells you you're that's not true. Like, well, maybe it didn't happen.
right.
Ugh.
Even to the point where there I mean, even I go in my head right now thinking, oh, Rebecca, that wasn't true.
Oh my God.
Because I was told that.
Wow.
Right. So it's like, even today I struggle with, am I fabricating that? Am I embellishing like my bio mom? Or was that truly the truth?
Mm.
When I spoke to my dad recently about an incident that we can discuss, he validated those.
Did he know what happened at your grandma's house? Did you?
He did not.
He didn't.
I just actually, before our podcast today, I just shared with him.
For the first time?
What happened.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I said, Angie's the one who actually told me that I was molested, because I never thought of myself as being molested.
Mm.
Truly, I never considered myself to be put in that box.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that I would love the listeners to think about. I want them to really kind of go back in that childhood brain, or in that, adolescent brain, and ask themselves, like, did anything really happen, or did I block it out?
Well, I mean, you experienced the shame of it,
Uh-huh.
the discomfort of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's the same experience.
Yeah. Yeah. But being told that didn't happen, you almost think that you're crazy.
Yeah.
And then other situations arise and happen, and then you're further told you're crazy. So this relationship with my mom did follow me throughout my life, even up until a year ago.
You said that your mom, like, she liked to gossip. She liked to embellish a lot. Were there any other experiences in your life where you got to witness that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I have so many. It's just like a book. Someone had said, you need to write a book because of all of your experiences that you've had to kind of hold and subdue and act like it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
So there was a time when this is my mom's version. Okay. And then I'll give you my dad's version. Then I'll give you my version.
Okay.
So my mom's version of this story was, I met this guy in a, kind of like a Saks Fifth Avenue, in the kids' shoe department. And I was shopping. He had his quote unquote daughter there, or at least I thought it was. And then he wanted to have a play date with his daughter and you and the other two siblings. Okay, great. So we go to the park, and this guy is, from my version, he was actually swinging me, and I'm like, I'm an Olympic swinger. Not that kind of a swinger. Not that kind of a swinger. But that was like my jam. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm the one that would go high and then jump off and do little crazy flips because I was radical. So he kept trying to push me, and I'm like, dude, I'm cool. Like, don't touch me.
Yeah.
I just got that
are
creepy vibe. Now, this happened when I was 5 or 6 as well. So we're at the park. I'm trying to talk to this chick that looks nothing like this dude, who's like supposedly his little girl.
Mm.
And I said, do you even, like, is this really your dad? She's like, well, kind of, not really. I'm like, where are your real parents? I don't know. So moving forward, he had known that I was really into dance. I did at the time, I was into like jazz and hip hop and lyrical dance.
Ballet.
So I was into ballet.
Okay.
And because of this that I
You're out.
love ballet,
Not
but
no more.
I did not want to do ballet anymore.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm at the park. He's pushing me. I'm disengaged. He knows like this chick, this little one is feisty. She's not going to, I'm not going to be able to like manipulate her.
Yeah.
Okay. So my mom's version is that, oh, Rebecca loves the ballet. You should take her. Oh, yeah. Let me get her. He got front row seats, this is all true. My dad confers. Yes, this is all true. He wanted to take me to the ballet knowing that I have a passion for dance.
Yeah.
But this was not any cheap ballet. He got like the premier seats and shows up. He's, telling me, my mom's telling me, yeah, I'm going to have you go to the ballet. Well, I'm like, I ain't going.
Right.
I'm not going.
Guy.
No, this is where the Matiana Silva in me, my great grandma, this is where like my great grandma comes out of me and she's like, no, you don't. Okay.
Yeah.
So then I tell my mom, I'm not going. Tell him I'm sick. I don't care. So this is all true. Both my father and my mother. Yes, that happened. So he shows up in a limo with his little chauffeur because he's a millionaire. He's loaded. He did get money from his father, who was one of the first ones to make an automatic gun, a machine.
Okay.
So he's loaded. I don't even know if he even had a job, but he shows up with 24 long stem roses and a white box and leaves it on my front porch. I remember the porch had green paint and he left it like on the second or third step. And my mom comes to me and I'm in the bathroom. I'm kind of like hiding.
Yeah.
And she's like, he's here. Just go and say thank you for the roses. And I'm like, I don't want to say thank you for the roses. That is so weird, dude.
Yeah.
So I'm not going out there. And I remember when she went outside, I went to go look through my window and his white limo's right there. The flowers are in the front. And there's no way I'm going out there. So then I'm not sure if my sister went to the ballet instead of me with his quote unquote daughter, or if she on another time went to his high rise. So she ended up going to his high rise. He was having her sit on his stomach, pumping it up and down, playing horsey. She felt, obviously, she knew this was wrong and she felt awkward. So she made herself go throw up.
To get the heck out of there.
And said that she was sick. So one of my parents shows up at the house. They pick her up. That's where it pretty much ended that relationship. What my mom's version is that because I had confronted her, I don't know, maybe 10 years ago. And I was like, whatever happened with that guy? Because he was creepy. Like, why did you allow some dude to want to take me to the ballet without even knowing him or doing a background check or leaving roses on my front porch? Like, I don't like roses. I don't like long stem roses. And I still don't like a limo. I don't like white limos from that experience.
It is really freaking wild, dude, that a grown-ass man
right?
would show up in a limo with long stem roses to pick up a little girl.
Little girl.
That he doesn't even know, not related, not a family member.
Not my birthday.
It's just
it's weird
as hell, dude.
Yeah. Like, wouldn't that bleep,
Hello.
bleep, light
Red
bulb? Yeah. So, in speaking to my dad about this, I had shared with him that her version was, when confronting her, it was, well, your dad knew. Your dad knew exactly what was going on. This guy he kidnapped the daughter. The
your
girl. My mom said that, when I confronted her, hey, like, why did you let us go with this guy? That is so not cool. Like, weren't you thinking? But because of her own trauma, she's literally at a 5-year-old's mentality because of her trauma and her PTSD that she hasn't dealt with. So emotionally, her intelligence level, when she is in this trauma-like situation, she reverts back to that 5-year-old who was in the trauma. So it's almost like I had a 5-year-old raising me.
Yeah.
My whole life.
Mm.
So she, in confronting her, she was like, okay, well, your dad actually knew about this. The guy kidnapped the little girl. He also ended up murdering her. And, you know, your dad knew about it because your dad was sharing with your grandpa Mora, so my dad's dad,
Yeah.
that, you know, this situation, hey, this guy actually wants, you know, he's a millionaire. He would like to help you create a business and fund this business and get your business off the
So
ground.
this is all what your mother is saying.
Yes.
Okay.
And so then in telling my grandpa did a report. He had a newspaper clipping that showed that the guy had kidnapped and murdered several of these children. So she said, I found the newspaper clipping on top of the refrigerator when I was cleaning the house. And I'm like,
It doesn't even make any sense.
what?
Yeah.
So then I asked my dad, hey, is this, like, how much of this is true? And he said, okay, this was what I remember, that she actually did communicate with him at a shoe store or whatever. And then, that's, you know, when I was sharing him the version of what I remember of what she had shared with me, he was like, well, the true difference is I don't think he ever murdered any kids. And I don't know if he actually kidnapped her. But what I do remember is that he did go to parents and offer financial benefits in helping build your business, or I'll give you some financial benefits in exchange for your kids hanging out with my kid, but she's not my kid, knowing that she wasn't actually his biological daughter. And he has been known to go to different places in the US. But my dad's like, he probably paid off the people that he needed to.
Yeah.
Because he was a millionaire.
Mm.
So yes, he did have this little girl with him that wasn't his biological daughter or even adopted kid, but because he was helping out financially another family that were in financial deficit. So he will go and find people that are wanting financial help and seek that out.
Just let me hang out with
and
the
that's
kids.
So I'm like, well, what would you call that? Like, that is human trafficking, right?
Yeah.
It's like you're lending your children out to some dude. Like, that's not.
You're
getting
paying
paid. You're getting
to do
paid. Yeah. So even that story is
Wild.
weird.
Yeah.
Is just off.
Yep.
It is cuckoo land.
Totally.
Like, I mean, even my 5-year-old, 6-year-old brain.
You knew. Your
was
gut
like,
was like, well, this ain't right.
This was a no manches situation. And for any of you guys, like, you're like, no manches. That's just like a Mexican way of being like, no kidding. Like, no kidding times 10. Okay.
For real.
So, yeah. I mean, but it was so beautiful to feel validated finally in this age.
Yeah.
To
that, like, your mom is
like, she's just an embellisher.
Yeah.
She's just she is a consistent, like, it's consistently an issue with her lying and her embellishing.
And she's like that to this day.
Oh, 100%. But the people that want to believe her and they want to listen to her, because she's the victim in most situations.
Yeah.
And there's some other things, in her childhood where I know there's a lot of guilt from my grandma because of her own problems with molestation. And so these are generational curses that continue.
Mm.
And this is where I'm so aware and hypervigilant about these situations because of my own problems that I had to go through.
Yep. And I'm sure it has shaped the way you are a mother to your own daughter.
100%.
Yeah. So with all of that happened to you as a little girl and, unsupportive, unsafe mother, is there anything that you would tell, like, who knows who's listening? What if there is, an 8-year-old, a 9-year-old, somebody that's tuning in right now that's young, that something might be happening to them that they're not comfortable with and they don't feel safe. Like, what would you tell to that little girl or little boy? And then what also, do you have any advice that you could give our listeners that could encourage them, strengthen them, give them hope, like tools?
Yeah. Gosh, that like makes me sad to think that an 8-year-old is listening and that they haven't felt heard. I would say that your truth is your truth, and don't let anybody tell you different. You know what happened to you. You know that you experienced it. And so don't let anyone take that from you. Share that experience with somebody who you do trust. If it's not a parent, it could be a friend, it could be a teacher, it could be maybe your counselor if you're in counseling. So I would never, it just breaks my heart. Like I'm trying to hold back tears because I'm just thinking that.
Because that is happening.
They need a voice.
Yeah.
They need a voice, and they need to know that what really happened to them is what really happened to them.
Yeah. Yep.
And that if nobody else believes it, that we do.
100%. Yeah.
I would say tools. Keep yourself safe as you can by knowing your surroundings. So protect yourself with who is around you. I tell my daughter, I don't care if you're an uncle, if you're an aunt, if you're a cousin, if you're a grandparent, no one is safe. No one is safe. And so don't ever let yourself be in a room by yourself with an adult. Don't even to be aware of other children.
Oh, yeah.
Because when children have been molested or sexually assaulted,
they act out on other children.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In anger or sexually.
Yeah. Yep. Even if it may even seem playfully.
Yeah.
It's
not okay.
Yeah.
So ever since my daughter was 6 months old, I've been telling her, es privada. So this is private. This is private. Your body is only for you to explore and to be familiar with. Nobody else needs to touch it, and nobody else needs to explore it.
Yeah.
And they should not make you explore them. That happens when you're a husband and you're a wife, and that happens in a safe space where you feel comfortable. And so there should never be anyone, adult or another child or another teenager, that should ever touch you or make you touch them.
Yep.
So know that truth.
Yeah.
And I would say no sleepovers, because I've had this question before from other parents. Oh, come on, it's innocent. No, it's not. I don't think that there's really a need for a child to go and hang out with another kid and not be supervised.
Right.
Unless you're the parent that wants to stay and do an all-nighter and be there and chill.
Right.
But how do you know that I'm safe?
True.
How do you know that the person that you're going to leave your kid with is safe?
Right. Or who's going to come into the home while
who's going to come in the home?
Yeah.
Right?
So true.
Could you imagine, like, there could be a break-in? There could be...
there's so many stories.
So many stories.
Yeah.
I know personally one of my best friends, her dad molested several of her friends.
At a sleepover.
Yeah. And this was happening for months.
Yeah.
For months.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So no sleepovers. And I would say just protect yourself. Listen to your gut.
Trust your gut.
Share your story and your truth with someone that's going to truly believe you.
Yeah.
And hold on to that, because that's priceless.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you for sharing your story with us.
Absolutely.
And thank you so much for listening and watching The Survivor's Voice. We're so grateful for all of you. If you are watching on YouTube, if you would subscribe to our channel, it costs nothing to you. It's a free thing for you to do, and it really helps us grow our show. We would so appreciate that from you. And if you're listening, whatever platform you're listening on, give us a follow. And we'd love, a 5-star review if you could be so gracious. And we want to hear your story. If it doesn't matter where you live, reach out to us. We would love it would be an honor for us to host you on our show. And if you'd love to do that, you can reach out to us at booking@thesurvivorsvoice.net. Don't forget, your story can unlock someone else's prison. So we look forward to hearing from you, and we'll see you next Tuesday. Safe Harbor is dedicated to helping survivors of trauma find healing and restoration through support, resources, and community. They provide hope for those affected by human trafficking. Visit safeharborforfreedom.com to learn more or support their mission today. Thank you so much, Safe Harbor, for supporting the survivor's voice. Next week on The Survivor's Voice.
It was a very high-risk pregnancy. They did some digging, and they were like, this guy's totally has another life. That's truly why I fled, was to get away from him.
Thank you for listening to this story on The Survivor's Voice. I'm your host, Angie Sedore, reminding you that every survivor's story matters. A heartfelt thank you to our incredible listeners for your support and to the survivor community for your courage and resilience. You are the heart of this show. Special thanks to our producer and editor, Christina Elder, to Bowman Carter for our beautiful song, and to Dan Wise with North Idaho Podcast Productions for bringing these powerful stories to life. Your dedication, talent, and most importantly, your hearts make the survivor's voice possible.